Hey there, saltwater anglers, and welcome to the Lower Chesapeake Bay Fishing Report. It's your local report, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. This podcast is part of the Great Days Outdoors Network, and each week we're talking with local experts to learn ways we can become better anglers in our pursuits offshore, nearshore, and inshore. And to help keep this amazing fishery healthy and thriving for generations to come, let's remember to protect what we pursue. It's springtime, waters are warming up, and fish are on the move. So let's hear who's making this show possible and then find out what's been biting. Check it out. AFTCO has a gift for our listeners. They're now offering a camo sunglasses cleaner cloth with any purchase of AFTCO products. Whether I'm walking the dock or the deck, I love my AFTCO fishing boots. You cannot beat the comfort. And as temps warm up, the Samurai Sun Shirt will keep you cool and protected. To get your coupon code, just text LCBFR to 779-345-2918. You'll get subscribed to our email list, and we'll send you the promo code via email. All right, you guys, welcome to this episode. This is a special episode to me for a couple reasons. One, getting to hang out with some guys that I love talking to. They always bring some sort of unique report perspective. But two, it is the Lower Chesapeake Bay Fishing Report's 100th episode. It is crazy to see how fast time has gone by, and here we are at episode 100. So 100 weeks of doing the show, but excited to dive in. It's going to be a good report. We're right on the cusp of summer. It's right here. Welcome to the show, Captain Austin Hain with Fineo Sport Fishing. Man, welcome back. How you been?
I've been great. Actually enjoying the fishing this year. It's been good for once. Unlike last year's terrible weather, we actually got to go out there and do something. So, how you been?
Been good, man. I will say, for those who know you or have ever spoken to you, you kind of have the funny cynicism typically, like, oh, it's awful. Just stay tied to the dock. Don't even think about going. So hearing you pop off with some optimism right out of the gate gets me really excited because that means it must be good.
I'm an honest person. That's all I can tell you. I'll tell you exactly how it's going to be out there, but it's actually been good this year. So
Good, man. That's exciting to hear. I've been well. Haven't been out fishing yet this year, which shame on me. But been watching. It's funny. Like the winter goes by and it kind of gets quiet. You get those couple of windows of folks that pop out, maybe do some offshore bluefin tuna fishing or whatever the case. But all of a sudden, it was like a week and a half ago, and it's like if you opened up Instagram, it was like every story from everybody was the Cobias are here, the Cobias are here. But before we jump into that, man, I want to first congratulate you on becoming a dad to your beautiful daughter
thank
in
you.
January. That's a big deal.
Yep, thank you.
What's it like being a dad and a charter captain?
It's I got a good wife, so she helps me out a lot. It's been good. I personally got a lucky. I got a lucky baby apparently because a lot of my friends said you're going to lose all this X amount of sleep. I've been blessed with a baby that sleeps all night. We put her down at 10. She'll might wake up at like 4 and then 10 a.m. That's like the routine. So I've been very lucky. So I still get my sleep. So it has not been too bad. But luckily my wife's able to take care of her while I'm fishing. So been very
Good.
good with that. So
Yeah, that's great to hear. And again, congratulations on a healthy baby girl and becoming a dad. I think I shot you a text whenever she was first born, and your response was something like, "Yeah, I thought it'd be cool to try."
I mean, 35 years old. I gotta get it going if I'm gonna do it. So
Oh man, hearing you say you're 35 years old makes me feel old. Because I'm approaching that decade that starts with a four, and
yeah, oh yeah.
you
It's
know.
terrifying.
You start thinking about like, oh, do I need to like do morning stretches before I go cobia fishing? Like, is it, am I at an injury risk?
I get it. I get it. Dude, I always think about that when I'm on the boat. Like, I feel like I'm about to die if I go like 3, 4 days in a row. But back in the day when I was in my 20s, it was like
Yeah,
7 days a week,
no
20-hour
problem.
days, didn't fucking matter. 2 hours of sleep, we're going right back out there. Now it's like, I better make sure I have enough water and caffeine and food and shade. It's like, dude, what's
Yeah,
going on right now?
the game does change, and I think regardless of what industry you're in or what you do for work or whatever, health is obviously paramount. That's the number one thing that you should revere, be proactive about, take precautions for, etc. So I'm curious, like as a charter captain who's out there every day, what are some of the little tricks of the trade that you've learned to, stay properly hydrated, stay fed, stay healthy? How do you manage that sort of beating that the body takes every day?
The number one thing is sun. You gotta escape the sun. And I might look ridiculous every day, especially when you go to like the gas stations and all this. But I wear boots, my little extra toughs, sometimes Crocs, but usually boots, long pants, long sleeve, and I even wear those the gloves, with like the fingers cut out
Yeah.
because the back of your hands get toasted. I wear a buff, glasses, and hat. I'm telling you, that is like there's a lot of other stuff for sure, but that is like no doubt number one. The sun, the sun, the sun, especially after coming back from Florida,
Yeah. Where it's
sunny
so
down there.
intense. Yeah.
If you dared have any skin exposed, that's what beats you down the most. There is no doubt.
Yeah.
And of course water, but if you 8 hours of sleep, I prioritize my sleep. I get off that boat, I come in the house, I eat a huge dinner,
Hmm.
shower, and it's right to bed. No
Yeah.
questions asked. I'm getting 8 hours because that the sleep and the sun are like the two number one enemies when you're fishing 7 days a week in that out there in that brutal heat. So
Yeah. Well, and to that point, I completely agree because for the longest time, I didn't wear pants or boots. I was a flip flop. I would wear the sun shirt, no gloves, and the buff. And you get done with a long day of fishing and you feel tired. And I remember when it was either you or somebody else that converted me to pants. I switched to pants and boots and the gloves. And it's crazy how like you'd get done, get off the water at the end of the day, and you felt like you had a little bit of energy left in the tank. So it's like interesting how much the sun not only obviously can damage your skin, but also like is sort of an energy suck.
yeah, it wears you down. And I'm not talking, like I don't wear jeans out there. I've got these like thin plastic kind of just UV protected pants.
Yeah.
I don't know about wearing sweatpants or jeans out there. Probably honestly still better than the sun, but yeah,
Yeah.
light pants and just the sun is the number one enemy. I'm telling you, it's
Yeah.
bad.
And
So
it's also underrated how important the boot is because arch support. Gosh, we sound like we're doing like an AARP
yeah, you
commercial
were just
here.
talking about us being old, and now we're over here talking about all this
Arch
stuff. So
support.
yeah, it's
So,
over.
but arch support is a big deal. The lower back fatigue and all that stuff. When you're standing in a tower for 8 hours and you're just staring, it's important to be supported. The pants that I love, I'm a big fan of, the American Fishing Tackle Company, AFTCO. The deckhand pants are my favorite pants. They're super lightweight, super stretchy. They got belt loops, so you can still do like your clip on your fillet knife and your pliers and whatever. They've got nice little zipper pouches on the side, so your phone doesn't take a swim, all that jazz. But shameless plug, I do love those deckhand pants, and then of course my summer samurai sun shirt. I don't know if you've worn one of those before, but it's like my
Mm-mm.
favorite. They're super lightweight, but they still have that 50 UV protection, whatever it is. Um,
And the other thing about those kind of outfits that you're talking about, like describing like fishing outfits and like thin wear, like if it's like 200 degrees, like it gets in July here,
oh
you
yeah,
just you just soak yourself. You
yeah,
know, I
yeah.
I I'll spray myself with my wash down hose, whatever I need to do to cool off, and you
Hmm.
just dry right back up. It's not like soaking yourself in sweatpants or jeans. So
Yeah,
that's yeah, you got to have the right fishing, I guess, outfit to manage how hot it is out there every day.
and endure the temps. There's probably nothing sweeter than the middle of July when everybody's like caught a couple fish and you're like, hey, you guys want to take a quick break and just jump in the water? That
Hmm.
refreshment you get when you jump in that water when you've just been melting in the sun, you don't realize how hot you are until you hop into that. This 82-degree water feels like an ice bath, and you're like, oh, sweet relief. But
Yep.
anyways, folks probably don't care to listen to us talk about arch support too much longer. Fishing. So it is almost June. It's Memorial Day weekend, worst weather weekend that we've ever had for Memorial Day, I think that I can remember. But talk us through the last couple of trips, what you've been seeing and catching.
All right. So, are you just talking about Cobias, or you want me to go over like my spring trips too?
Maybe yeah, a quick highlight reel from some of your spring trips.
All right. So this is kind of building up to why our cobia fishing so good. It seems like when everything is a good start to the year, it just seems like the summertime's gonna be good. But anyway, so our spring trips, I do some striper fishing, and we caught a bunch of big stripers. And usually I catch them every year in the spring. It's not like it used to be, back in 2012. It
Yeah.
was phenomenal every day, whatever. But over the last few years, I still have some spots where I can go pluck a few, but
Hmm.
they're usually like 20 to 30 inches. But this year, my first few trips, we were getting them like 40, 46 inches. And so I'm like, oh my God,
Whoa.
like and there was bait already, and this is back in early April. So I
Wow.
was like, okay, maybe we're lining up for something good this year, or it's a coincidence. But who knows? And
Right.
so we banged up some big stripers, and then we switched over. Let's do some tog fishing, and the tog fishing, phenomenal again. Now I didn't offshore fish. I'm just doing this around the Bay Bridge Tunnel and the rock piles, the wrecks,
Yeah.
all inshore stuff. So they weren't
Right.
that big, but the point is, it was just another just really good sign. It's like, okay, the togs are loaded. You're going to catch, if you drop the crab down, you were getting a tog. And then we're like, all right, well, let's try the drum out. And drum, another just phenomenal thing for how early it is. Started banging up the drum. They were just not the biggest schools, but a good number of them. Like I'd say 50 to 100 in the pack, so you could catch quite a few of those. And then that was about 3 weeks ago. And then 2 weeks ago, I went out with Mike, diver Mike,
Yeah.
fishing for
Mike Hosang.
mortgages.
Yep.
Yep, he took him sheepshead fishing, and again, it's like sheepshead fishing really good. It's like, dude, okay, so everything's lining up. It's got to be a great year. So he shot some like 10, 11 pound sheepshead, huge things.
Whew.
And by the way, the most delicious things on this planet.
Agreed.
But yeah,
Agreed. So tasty.
yep. So another just excellent like sign, like everything is just seeming good this year. And then of course you're still nervous because my favorite fish in the bay is a cobia. So I'm like, oh my God, like everything's lined up for a great year. So I'd say I think it was last Saturday, so 8 days ago, we had a really good stretch of warm days, sunny skies, and me and my friend Alex went out and we
Are you
went
talking
out and
about
was like,
Alex Field
Alex
with
Field, yeah.
Alex Field Real Estate, best
Yep.
property management real estate professional in Hampton Roads? That guy?
That's him.
Got it.
And I looked at his temps out there and I'm like, man, it looks really, really cold. And I'm like, but it's so nice. I need to go
Yeah.
run the boat anyway. Whatever. Let's just go out there. And we come out, and sure enough, we probably see, by the way, the water temperature was 59 to 60 degrees,
In the
which
bay.
is, no, we were slightly like off Cape Henry area, right when
Okay.
we came around that corner there.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm like, dude, there's no chance we're going to see anything, but let's go anyway. It's a nice day.
Right.
And Alex was like, yo, there's a turtle. And I'm like, what? And I look over to the left and he's like, oh my God, no, those are cobias. And this was right out front of like Lynnhaven to Cape Henry area. And I'm like, no way in 59-degree water. Either way, point of that is we probably end up seeing 50 cobias in 59 to 61-degree water. I'm like, dude, everything is just popping this year, it seems. And then after that, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we had beautiful weather, and we probably seen, I don't know, 800 cobias in those few days. I mean, I'm telling you, it was I'm not gonna say the best because I didn't see any giant cobias,
Right.
but the amount of fish that we have coming in is insanity. And then of course we have this Memorial Day weekend that's beautiful, pouring rain. But building
Right.
up to it, it was actually insanity how many fish were out there. Like my charter on Tuesday, we caught like 30 something. I have when you get to those numbers,
Yeah.
who
You
freaking
stop
knows at that
counting.
point?
Yeah.
And they were casting at them, and around noon they decided that they didn't even want to hook them anymore. They were just going to tease them to the boat because nobody wanted to unhook them, nobody wanted to net them, nobody wanted to fight them. They were just done.
Yeah.
So we were just teasing him to the boat, and he looks up at me and he accidentally hooks one because it was so hungry it ate the lure, and they had to deal with it in the boat and the net. And he's like, "Yo, we're good. Just take us in, dude." That was the craziest day ever. So it's looking like it's going to be an epic year because I have no complaints about it. Any day that I've had this year, I've had zero complaints about why are they not eating? Why is the fish whatever?
Right.
It's been just a solid year. So
Right.
looking forward to what's going to happen this summer.
That's very exciting. I can't wait to talk to you in the middle of July and hear such a different
Don't
version of
do
how
that to
that.
me.
I'm just kidding. Hopefully, it stays good all through July. But I do want to go back and ask a question just for those listening that maybe haven't been around in cobia fishing for years. What's the water temperature that you normally expect to see them show up in? Because it sounds like 59 to 61 was like way colder than you were expecting.
So before this year, the coldest I've ever caught one in was 63,
Okay.
63 degrees. And that was cold. I would
Right.
say like the good, like premium temp is like 68. Like you find 68, there's going to be cobias there.
Got it.
Uh, I usually start getting excited, like let's say May, early season, 65 to 66, something around that is
Yeah, you
like
feel like it's in the
where,
air.
yeah, okay, like, okay, we got a good chance here. But
Yeah.
when you see a five, like that's terrifying. And they didn't even fucking care. They were still up and loving life. 59. Like, what are you
Jeez.
doing? So it's like they just really want to get in that bay, is what
Yeah.
I'm thinking. So
Yeah, that's amazing. And then in terms of the quantities that you saw in the area that you saw them, why is that in particularly interesting to you when you think about like how that might be a sort of um, barometer that you would measure like the health of the upcoming season? Like why does that equate to a potentially healthy season in your mind?
well, actually, let me add one more thing. The amount of stingrays this year.
Okay.
So last year was one of our toughest seasons,
Yeah.
not only because of weather, just for some reason, the fish just did not want to be on the surface. And there's a direct correlation that I have found, and a lot of Kobe guys will tell you this. How many rays you so last year there was like no stingrays. And this year, and thousands of stingrays. But the correlation that I would say to the spring to the summer kind of deal on how it's going to be is just over the I don't know exactly why, but over the course of my 15, 16 years of doing this, if we have a good solid May, like you see them, whatever the case, it just correlates to the summertime. Like the slow years, we've had off years and all that. We don't have a good May bite. So every time we've had a good May bite, the summer bite is excellent. Is what my theory. I don't know the correlation, but there's a lot of rays and a lot of cobia, so I think it's going to be a good year.
Turn your dock into more than just a place to park your boat with Slipski's Dorado Oasis cover. Engineered for both beauty and protection, the Dorado Oasis transforms your dock into a shaded, all-weather living space, perfect for relaxing by the water or entertaining friends. Built from marine-grade aluminum and premium fabric, it also provides year-round protection from sun, rain, and debris. Whether you're lounging dockside or keeping your boat covered and ready to go, Slipski delivers comfort, convenience, and peace of mind. Slipski, think outside the boathouse. Visit slipski.com. The way that you've been watching this activity off the ocean front is kind of your that in conjunction with all the different species that you've seen in big numbers is like your sort of way of being like, man, this feels right. Feels like it's going to be a really good season.
Yeah, it just is lively is all I can really explain. Just a lot of life out there. And over the years, whenever we have something off, like let's say I go striper fishing, I'll catch stripers. I go drum fishing, I'll catch any drum. I go tog fishing, the tog fishing slow. And then you kind of anticipate, okay, I bet you this cobia bite's gonna suck this year.
And then it
But the
does.
fact that exactly.
Yeah.
And the fact that everything is just good and
Yeah.
good, just there's nothing negative except for the bad weather days. Like when you can go, whatever you're going to target that day is just good. And that just tends to follow into the summer. Now, you're going to have off days. You're going to have bad weather. If you get a nor'easter for 10 days, I can't tell you the next day is going to be good. But if we can keep some decent weather and everything's been good in the spring, it's usually just over the years, I've just noticed it just means it's going to be a good season.
Right. And earlier you mentioned bait, and then the rays too. What would you say is like the thing about rays that is a sort of indication of good cobia fishing?
So cobias are just super attracted to lively areas, right? You find bait, turtles, rays, whatever on the surface, turtles, it doesn't freaking matter. They just want to be around lively stuff. And last year, we just didn't have very many rays on the surface.
Hmm.
So, and we would bottom fish and you'd be catching the rays on the bottom as well as the cobia on the bottom. This year, which we do 99% sight casting, there are thousands and thousands of rays up there. And wherever the rays are, it just seems to be where the cobias are going to be. And the rays are right up on top. And guess what? The cobias are right up on top too.
Hmm.
And last year in the spring, especially, I was seeing no rays, no rays. I mean, I saw like, I don't even know how many rays, barely any last year off the ocean front. So that's just my biggest tell is pretty much rays dictate how the Kobe season's going to go. If you got a ton of rays on the surface, there's going to be fish.
Yeah, and the more that I'm thinking about it, the question that, pops up in my mind is like, of all the fish out there that we target, what is unique to rays and cobia, and then of course the occasional drum school, is that they're like one of the few fish that you see swimming on the surface. Rays,
Mhm.
drum, and cobia. That's about it. You don't see flounder swimming on the surface. You don't see sea bass swimming on the surface. It's really just those pelagics. And then, of course, so whatever it is that's got the rays up, like, do you think it's like oxygen levels or salinity? Like, have you ever been able to like tie it back to some specific data point where when you're seeing a lot of rays up or seeing a lot of cobias up, you also notice this thing?
Yeah, most of the time it's thermoclines. I've noticed a lot with thermoclines. That was last year, especially. Again, fishing for mortgages. He's my underwater guy, so he's got that little watch that goes on, and a lot of times it'll be, 70 degrees on the surface, but 75 degrees 10 feet down, and he'll be like, "Oh, there's rays, there's fish all over down deep," and I think a lot of it is just good weather. I really don't know what causes it, but if there's a fat thermocline and these fish want to stay down in that warmer water, you'll never see them on the surface. Because why would they
Right.
go up to the top of the water where it's cold compared to what they
Yeah.
got down low?
Yeah.
Um, but I think a lot is just a lot to do with the weather. A
Hmm.
lot. Like we get a hard like northeast, 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 northeast. It's going to cool the surface water off, make it dirty, which could be salinity, which could be dirty water. I don't know, but all I could tell you is when those rays are up, you're going to see fish,
Yeah.
and it's looking really good this year.
Yeah. It's always exciting to see the rays because looking for cobia can be such a, shooting fish in a barrel is the opposite of what it would be like. It's like you're out there and you just don't even know where to look and you're just hoping that one pops up. But when you see that school of rays from a distance, if you get into that acreage of rays that for sure at some point you're going to see something, pop up that you'll be able to cast at. And I think you mentioned earlier, Alex Field. I think one of the days that I saw the most fish that I've ever seen in my entire life, I think he and I were out there. I think it was I want to say August of 2021 or 2023. It was one of those 2 years. And it was like August the 8th or 9th. And we found this acre, like I'm talking legit acre of rays that were wingtip to wingtip. And then we got up on one side of them, and it was as far as the eye could see, just pot after pot after pot of cobia. And they were just on this one leading edge side of the rays, which was crazy to see. Of course, you want to know why the rays are up, and you want to know why they're on a certain side of the rays. But suffice to say, see rays, you're going to see some cobias.
Yep, that's always and then like you said, like last year there was just a lack of rays, so you had no real indicator. You just go to where there should be some cobias here, and eventually, yeah, you'll see a few. But the rays, you can just like this year, you just drive. You either see a cobia or you're going to see a mass of rays. And when you see the rays, you just slow down because
Hang out.
they're going to be there because the rays are up. The cobias are
Yep.
going to come up eventually. So,
And public service announcement, I feel like we could go back through all the archives of podcasts, and there's probably several times we talked about this, but like if you're in the rays, go really slow.
please,
There's no reason to speed
please.
through the rays. You're gonna
Oh,
see
man.
fish. I think there's this weird, I don't know if it's ADHD or excitement, adrenaline, whatever it is, but there's this like knee-jerk feeling that like once you're in the rays to just start plowing through them and hope to run across a cobia. Like remember, cobias are like submarines. They go up and down. They don't just stay all the way up all day or stay all the way down all day. So if you're in the rays, just go really slow. You're gonna see fish. They're gonna pop up and down.
Yeah, we call it whack-a-mole. You get in there and you put your boat literally as slow as it can possibly drive, pretty much just staying with the rays. And, you can see nothing to the right. You look left and then you look back to the right. And here comes, two swimming at the surface. You just cast at them, get those, and just keep course.
Yep.
And all it takes is one or two guys getting too anxious because they ain't seen nothing all day or whatever the case. And they push them all down, disturb the ray mat, splits them into pieces or pushes them down altogether, spooks the cobias, whatever the case. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, once you find those rays, there's just wait. Like they're gonna be there. Like
Right.
you just gotta hang out. And yeah,
Yeah.
it might not be for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or whatever the case. They're gonna be there. Rays
Right.
are like the clear sign. I don't know what the exact correlation is. I'll never know, but there is something there
Yep.
because every cobia fisherman, even if you go out there and it sucks for cobia, we still say, dude, I found a ton of rays, man. It was epic. They were everywhere. They're going to be there any day
Right.
now.
Yeah.
that's just as much topic as finding cobias is finding the rays.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's probably like, if you're in the desert, seeing seeing rays is like seeing trees. You didn't see water yet, but you know water's nearby if there's trees.
that is a great analogy. That is
Yeah.
exactly it.
Yeah, there's a sense
So
of we went from having no hope to having a sense of hope that is based in some really strong truth that where there are trees, there is water. Well,
yeah.
man, before we wrap up today, I do want to just, for our listeners that are maybe new to the show this year, going to this summer, you're 35 years old now, you've got a daughter, but you've been doing this fishing thing, specifically the sight fishing, for a long time. And there's a couple things about your charter that's unique. One being that you'll engage your clients to actually get in on the action if they want, to cast at these fish. But tell us, how old were you when you got your start fishing? When did you really get bit by the sight fishing? And how long have you been operating Fineo sport fishing now?
I've been so actually what's crazy is nobody in my entire family fishes. So I kind of just learned off the beach with my mom would take me down to the beach and I'd go out there and I'd be stoked catching spot and croaker. I had to go to the tackle shop, whatever. So that started when I was 10, 11. I have no idea.
Yeah.
And then my granddad took me up to Ocean View Fishing Pier and I learned there was other fish out there. Bluefish, stripers. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. There's more fish. But I had no idea. And then what's crazy is I was obsessed with these cobias on the pier because that's what everybody fished for on the pier. Everybody. And I'd never seen one because you're pier fishing. I mean, it's very rare it happens. You'll see one or two a year usually.
Yeah.
And so the sight casting thing was back in 2011-ish. I got a boat back when they were reasonably priced.
Right.
I we went and got a boat because my family knew that I love fishing. They wanted a boat. They've always had jet skis and stuff like that. So like, oh, we'll get a boat to do whatever. And I test drove this boat, and I was just driving it around, and I started seeing what I thought were sharks. I mean, this was a long time ago, and I thought there were sharks. And then I learned over time they were cobias, and that was when I explained to one of my friends I was seeing sharks. They're like, "Dude, those were probably cobias." I know I sound like an idiot right now, whatever.
No, no, this is great.
But then, because like I said, no one's taught me nothing, and then I got this boat, and I found out they were cobias, and so I went over there and I started doing some driving around, and I was throwing the stupidest stuff at them because I had no idea what they ate, how they acted, anything. And I learned that you throw a croaker at them, they eat, and blah blah blah. And then I got obsessed with sight casting because I thought these unicorns on the pier were like super rare. And then I learned they were just freaking everywhere. And then just started posting on Facebook and Instagram, just bragging about, oh, cool, I caught this fish. And then people hit me up for, hey, take me fishing. And then I learned, okay, you can make a business off this, and started charter in 2012, got a tower on the boat, and Cobia fishing ever since.
Here we are. And
So
and that time you were pretty much like graduating high school and kind of at that like sort of fork in the road that every young man faces, which is like, do I go the traditional route and go to college and try to get a desk job selling insurance? Nothing wrong with selling insurance. Or do I take the entrepreneurial route and create a business, And I love that your dad, to this day, Scott, he's such a great like idea guy, obviously being a photographer and a marketer and all this stuff. And what was he said to you when you were like trying to name the business?
what did he say to me when I was naming the business? I mean, he didn't, I don't even remember that, but I'll tell you, he gave me an ultimatum. He's like, look, like, you're either going to college, you're going to do something with your life right now. And of course, that was when I started learning about the cobias. I was like, well, let me see if like I can start taking people fishing for these things and blah blah blah. Then he was very, my parents were they've always, my whole family's been entrepreneurs, so they encouraged me and helped me out a lot, getting the business, getting the name out there and all that. So you
Well,
wouldn't
that's
be here without my parents. But
that's it. The
uh
name. The name is what I was thinking of, that your dad told you. He's like, look, if you do this, what is not an
oh
option?
yeah, failure is not an option because I mean, yeah, it's corny to me though. I can't say that. It's just
It's not
corny.
corny at all. It's
I just
awesome. I think it's
fineo now. Now it's corny.
No, it's failure is not an option. I mean, to me, it's almost like a mission statement. Like every business struggles to like get their identity and their like core values and mission statement. And like for you, it's like in the name. It's like, what are we going to do? We're not going to fail today. We're going to be prepared. We're going to do what we got to do to make it happen. We're going to be industrious, resourceful. We're going to be determined. We're going to, run around the storms, do whatever we got to do. But failure is not an option. Like to me, like knowing you as long as I've known you now, which is almost like 12 years, from the first time I took a charter with you, like you are that sort of like, I don't know, dog on a bone, just very like you will make it happen, whether it means we're going to drive around and we don't have steering, but I'm going to still catch fish or the boat won't turn off, but I don't care. We're still going to catch fish whatever. Like you'll just plow through the challenging circumstances and make it happen, which I think is a real testimony to you and your parents and just the type of fisherman and human being that you are.
No, I appreciate it. No, I mean I love it. So it's my parents do what they love, my grandparents did what they love, and now I get to do what I love. So it's not really, yeah, it's work, especially on them freaking miserable days, but
Yeah.
we love it. We want to catch them just as much as the clients, if
Yeah.
not probably more, to be
Well,
honest.
yeah,
I still get
you're
fired
feeling
up
the
when I see
heat.
them. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. So
Um,
very lucky to do what I do. Very
that's
lucky.
awesome. And if folks are listening and they're maybe have been with you before or they're looking at getting a Cobia charter, and we say Cobia charter that's a very loose term, any sort of sight fishing, sheep's head, you guys do a little bit of everything based on what the season is holding or what the current, weather is allowing for. But if folks want to get, booked with you, tell us what kind of boat do you run now? Obviously, you don't run the boat from, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
What boat are you running now, and how do folks contact you to book a trip?
So I'm running a 24-foot Pathfinder, and it's got, of course, the tower and big casting platform up front. Really like the casting platform because, like you said, getting my customers engaged. I can put them up front, and I got a pointer stick up there. I point them out forward, let them cast off the bow. It's a solid boat for the bay. And the best way to get a hold of me is my Instagram is usually really good. You can DM me there. Check out all of our photos. I post stories every time I go fishing. That's Fineo Sport Fishing. Yeah, I guess there's some tags. Just Fineo Sport Fishing. You'll find it on
Yeah,
Instagram.
yeah,
And then, of course, you can call me at 757-652-8260, or you can text me. That's the best ways to get a hold of me. And I'll let you know what dates we got and what trips we got going on. Whatever you guys want to catch, we'll get on them on shore.
awesome, man. Well, it was awesome catching up with you, and again, congrats on baby January. And I'm just excited to hear, typically the most honest. I'm using air quotes here, honest slash cynical fishermen in the bay to be excited about the upcoming cobia fishery. So for me, that's a great way to kick off the summer season ahead, and hopefully we see, like you're saying, good numbers, but I would really love to see a resurgence of some bigger fish. So obviously, with the regulations being what they are now, 42-inch minimum.
43.
Is it 43?
Yeah. 43.
43.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
43
right.
minimum. But
That's right.
we can keep two or 50 now. So
That's right. So, and with that in mind, just folks remember, you've got the opportunity to harvest these things. Be responsible. Make sure you harvest what you're going to actually consume. Try not to let a whole lot go dead in the freezer, which we've all been guilty of. And hopefully we'll have a great harvest season and fishery this year and for years to come. Captain Austin, thanks for being on the show, man. It's always a pleasure.
appreciate it. Appreciate
Yeah.
it. It was a good time.
Yeah, likewise. Folks, that's going to wrap up a great segment catching up with Captain Austin Hain, Fineo Sport Fishing. Like you said, look him up on Instagram, give him a shout, give him a text, get booked. He's a lot of fun to fish with. I've fished with him. Even if things are dull or quiet, it's not going to be dull or quiet because he always has fun out there. But you guys stick around for a quick word from our sponsors who help make this content free for you each week. If you're enjoying the show, give it a subscribe, a like. Helps the bots out there in the interwebs, make sure that we get around to more folks and keep this thing going. We'll be back with you real soon. Take a quick break. Cheers. This podcast is brought to you by EMS and Indec PVC decking. Hooks rust, lines tangle, the one that got away always does. Some things aren't meant to last. This isn't one of them. For coastal homeowners, marina and dock properties, and waterfront builders, Indec delivers a premium finished surface without the constant upkeep. Indec's capped cellular PVC dock and deck boards never rot, clean up easily with soap and water, and offer strong slip resistance in wet or dry conditions. Indec, designed for what comes next. See the full line at pages.easternmetal.com/great days. Pure Flat slick lures are tried, true, and guide approved. Slick lures catch big speckled trout, redfish, flounder, and more. You can cast them a mile, and they produce a highly erratic bait fish imitation with a twitching retrieve. The tournament winning slick has helped many anglers set personal best records. Whether you're fishing the OG slick, the smaller profile slick junior, or the versatile lil slick, one is sure to find that unforgettable thump we're all after. Visit your local tackle retailer or pureflats.com for your favorite color and rigging combination. Go sling some slicks today. You can't catch them on the sofa. All right, you guys, I'm so excited to jump into this next segment because this is our good friend, Captain Bill Pappas aboard Plain Hooky Charters. And as I was reaching out to him this week to get scheduled, he reminded me that he was on the very first show, which was 100 episodes ago. And since then, this will be his 27th episode recording with us, which is almost just over a fourth of all of our shows. So first, let me just say, Captain Bill, thank you for believing in us at the very beginning and jumping on board and taking a little wild ride. We had no idea where this would go or what it would become, but here we are, 100 episodes later, man. What's going on with Playing Hooky this week?
Welcome aboard Playing Hooky Charters. Thank you guys so much, man. I've really enjoyed this, Luke. This has been cool, man. You never, like you said, you never know how this thing started, but I like how it's going, man. We have a good thing going here, and it's fun talking with you guys. I see a lot of people, and hey, shout out to everybody I see, man, because they're like, come up to me and they're like, "Yo, I listened to you on the podcast," and of course I go, "Hey, man, that wasn't me, man. It sounds like me a little bit, but that wasn't me." And then I'm like, nah, thanks a lot. And I speak with them and jive, have a good time, and it's fun talking about fishing. But yeah, man, I love it. I love it. This is cool. Hey, thanks, guys. 100 episode.
I know, man.
Rick and Morty.
Here we
Sorry.
go. Tom and Jerry, peanut butter and jelly, whatever you want to call it.
I love it. I love it.
But yeah, man, I think to me one of the coolest things about it is I love the fact that it's reaching a lot of anglers who are interested in learning, who want to book a charter. But most importantly too is like all the fun that we've had along the way, capturing these cool stories and these memorializing these really cool stories. And of course, there's no shortage of cool stories with you, Captain Bill, from from back in the old Key West days, and
Oh my
pushing
God.
somebody overboard off in the blue.
Oh my God.
To,
The guy's telling him to jump.
recipes, like, and everything in
Oh my
between,
God.
man.
Coconut, sea
It's
bass, you name it. Tidy
it
macos. I send
ah
people still, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
man. I mean, you're
Trip to
creating
Hawaii. That was cool.
these legendary things.
I was honored you even asked about my family trip, and I took my mate. But that was I just brought that up the other day to someone I was talking about the podcast, and it's just amazing.
It
Yeah.
really is.
So
We could go on, for a while about how much, life has happened in the last 2 years since we first met and started doing the show. And I'm excited to see what comes. And, a couple
yeah.
things that really excite me about this week is you've gotten to get out there with those new, 350 V6s with the Hellmaster. So first, let's start with the boat. Like, what's new since we last talked on the boat?
All right, man. All right. So we went to Troy Marine and got our. We did it with our last upgrade. We already had them ready to go, but they got this brand new state of the art, one of the first boats in the whole state to have a joystick where we can a handhold remote control, and I can walk around the boat and drive the boat. Russ and I, after trying it out the other day, made a cool video. It was nice. I liked it. It was at sunset. It was pretty fun to do. And then we went in, and we both of us sat on the bow, and I drove the boat all the way back to the slip on the bow.
No way. So
Nobody.
you can actually
Yes,
like,
both of us sat on the bow together and
come
just
on,
chilled, just sitting down, relaxing, and just drove the boat all the way through the inlet. Nobody at the top, nobody at the wheel, and I drove it all the way, spun the boat around with the remote control, and stuffed it in the slip, man, like it was
dude.
supposed to be there. Yeah, so it's sweet. We got this new that one's sweet, and I also got the autopilot put up top. Now, while you do have the autopilot function on the joystick, the joystick, I mean, dude, I'm up top, man. I don't want that joystick going up and down with me a whole lot. So
Right,
I made
right.
sure to get the autopilot put up top too, so I can just smack a button, and I'm Spanish mackerel fishing and filming for you guys to watch the story and hang out with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, dude, that's so sick. I'm just thinking about all the applications. I remember having Andrew Kaiser on from Troy Marine talking about all the different programming modes and the different capabilities of the joystick. I think there's like, I don't know, four or five. There's like stay, there's
It's three of them. It's stay
drip,
point, fish
stay
point,
point,
drift
fish point,
point.
and yeah,
Yeah, you got it.
exactly.
You got
Um, I would have never remembered them, but again, that's why
them.
we're Ben and
we're
Jerry, peanut
Dude,
butter and jelly.
we're a great team. We got it.
So, but it does all these neat things, and it's especially advantageous for trolling, wreck fishing, and then, like you were saying, sunset cruises with your mate back to the slip. So, um,
Yeah, that was cool. That
That's
was
awesome,
definitely
man.
cool.
So
So far we've used it for the all right, here we go. We've used it for tog, killed it. We used it for deep drop, killed it. It worked in 900 feet. It worked. Oh, well, I don't want to tell you the waves we worked it in, but it worked in big waves. It was some big waves. Like I tell people this. You're in 12 hours. It's just like life, and it's just like any other day. There's gonna be good parts of the day, and some of the parts just might not be that great. So if you have to put up with a longer ride sometimes, and it might happen where the waves are coming at us or whatever, we have a larger boat. So we get out there and then we have a great day out there. It gets slick and it's fine. I've been making my own forecast for about 4 years now, and it's man, we've had a great time this weekend catching a lot of fish, man, and getting us out there, man. Yeah, but that spot lock stuff is absolutely amazing. It's game. They say game changer. It's a game changer. I'm
right.
not. You can't use it for. I wouldn't use it for bailing fish or doing anything like that where you can get lines sucked into the motor with a lot of things going on.
Hmm.
But it's definitely sweet for some sea biscuits, and it's definitely sweet for some tautog so far. And the deep drop, it doesn't seem to do bad that either. I personally have been out on, just to give everyone a little tip here. I always give out one little nugget. Here's your nugget, guys. Deep droppers. Now this, I told David Wright this, I think 15 years ago when we figured it out, but we had slack days in the Key West where we would tuna fishing on all these trips. We're going tuna fish, tuna fish. At the end of the day, at the end of the trip, we had to go deep drop to pay for the gas because we didn't catch any tuna. So
Right.
we'd always stop and blue line fish and smear the blue lines. And some days, like we do on a good drift, or whatever, you're catching a lot. You're moving them down. You're catching them on two different locations. You find out more spots. You widen your area where the fish live, and it works out like that for putting them on the screen. Well, the spot lock limits that, but when we had the point of this whole story is when we had a sunny, slick, calm, no breeze day and no current, the bite was doomed.
Hmm.
And I literally had to. I called bump drift. I'd put it in gear and then put it out of gear. I'd put it in gear and then we'd cover ground. I'd still make artificial drifts. And guess what we did? Bang, 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 bang.
Caught him.
Got him going again. So and I've had that happen with sea bass before when I'd hold on a dime and then once I drift, I was doing better. And if I ever held, so I mean, it's to be said on other things, but each wreck's going to be different where you can and you can't drift, because if you have a wreck that's tall, you're not drifting very well. You're losing all your stuff. But flatter wrecks and flatter structures, you can do that. But that's
Yeah.
the point of the blue line, guys. That's your little nugget. If you want to just call it bump drift, do a little bump drift on if you ever come across that where you're like, damn, the bites, I know they're here, but they're not biting. So just give yourself a bump drift, and that works on another, especially on flounder as well.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good tip. And you got me thinking about all the different trips that you've done. I mean, you guys have been boogieing. I think what'd you say, last 10 out of 11 days or 11 out of 12 days you've been on charter?
It's we have 10 trips in 9 days here. This stretch we have here. We've had another couple 36, 42 hour 3 day spans and some weekends because the weather was just giving us what we could take. We weren't
Yeah,
taking
it
what we
was
were
good.
given. And we did. Yeah, but this one, yeah, this was a good run, man. We had some good inshore stuff we went on. We went on and did some sea bass, and then we went offshore. So you ready for your offshore report?
Oh yeah, bring it on.
All right, guys. So we went southeast the first day, and southeast we got to the water we wanted to fish, and it looked great, man. It was like birds swooping in. It was lots of little pickers. They weren't moving as good as we wanted, but they were moving and grooving in that area. We felt it was gonna be good. And this was right where the break hit. This was about right at the edge before it got deep. So of course you're always wondering what's out there, and your body and soul takes you to the deep, the warmer water. You get the 73s, and you pull into that zone. See some more grass. You see manta rays. You see stuff. You spiral back in. You got a charter of people waiting to catch some fish. You're just like, all right, let's go try. Let's go move this thing to the south. Maybe we'll go back on the edge where we saw the birds working. And you go inside in that little the zone where the temperature goes from 64 for everything. So you want to be in that little, it felt good there where you could be in the mixed water and catch them. So we went back in there, finished the troll up. And we had some mystery bite. We brought it in, obviously, and it had the fish was chewed off. We were like bummed a little bit. So anyway, we weren't bummed. It was like, man, we really wanted to see that. So we decided to go ahead and look for some deep drop spots in the spot we were at when we pulled the horn, because these guys really wanted some mahi or some tuna. So they decided, instead of just deep dropping at the end to save the day, they wanted a little more time on the clock with the bluefin. I mean the bluefin with yellowfin tuna and mahi with
Yeah.
tuna fishing. That's really what it was. They wanted to do that some more. So then I pulled the brakes, and it was kind of a good day. So I was like, you know what? I had a spot really. really on the right end where I knew from we were deep. I was like from the way where I was way deep in Carolina. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hit this one I haven't hit in a while, in almost 190 feet. It's a super deep one down there past the Russian sub or wherever it is. So I go down there to that one. I pull up on it and I try to show the guys. I was like, look, I was showing them how to put it down there. And the first guy, as soon as he handed him the rod, he's just bowed over. The rod's about to snap. Everyone drop, drop. Everyone's dropping. It was great, man. Everyone drops. And then we were just loading up. And these were all like, there was, I think, two or three citations. It was, a very nice class of fish. And all of them seemed to be giants. I mean, from that depth, they were all coming up knot-headed, just giant. They were having a great time.
Yeah.
And the guy, you guys need to hear this. Another tip, guys, and I'm going to put it somewhere somehow fast. Luke's already posted it in the story, but these seasickness patches. We had a guy who was pale on the ride out. He was bad. He was sitting in the fetal position, man, in the back. He was just looking bad, and just that's where he wanted to ride for some reason. He rode in the back and anyway, I go give him these patches. I go running out there, and look, I'm gonna tell you all this. These patches are 4 for 4. We're talking deep drop. You guys are like blah blah.
That's a big deal.
It's huge. And look, I'm gonna tell you guys this is a great section of the cast. I promise you this. So, and I'm a statistician, and I actually miss it when they blow chunks and go nuts because it's just the way it goes sometimes for everybody.
Right.
One out of
Right.
6 are gonna do it on every other charter. You're gonna have 1 out of 6 is not gonna feel it. Inshore, offshore doesn't matter. It's offshore's worse. Fog's even bad worse. And there's first trips of the year, and it's all different situations that could contribute, but. 4 for 4 people that have gotten sick. There's 2 older gentlemen on the deep drop trip out there. As it was the seas were coming down, they were sick overboard, and I literally personally put the patches behind their ears. The dude right to my left he literally grabbed a sandwich right after it and stuffed it in his face, and I was like, whoa, nobody who's ever been seasick grabs food. It's one of those things. You only say I have a stat on that
No, you're
too.
right. Yeah.
There's only a stat or two I've ever seen anybody try to eat after. He sure did. And the other guy who was upset, it's always this too, guys. Remember this. You'll see somebody who holds it, holds it, holds it, holds it. And as soon as they catch a fish or something very exciting happens, that adrenaline hits their stomach, and then
Yep.
once it wears off, that's when they're overboard, man, and they're stuffed in a beanbag. And the beanbags are usually undefeated. Once you get in there, they're knockout. They're just knocked out.
Yeah.
They have so many knockouts, dude. So you got to give them these patches, man. And it's only this one I found. It's just this, and they're bigger now. By the way, they're not as small as they were. They're bigger even. And
Okay.
these things literally stop them guys in their tracks. So this guy in the fetal position, come out there, give him the patches. He sits back, bing. He's back up. He sits in the boat. We ride out there. He's trolling all day, and he was the one. By the time we were sea bassing, was just like it was a regular day at the office. He was like, dude, he was good. You know what I
That's
mean?
incredible,
Yeah,
man.
dude. And he's like, I never get seasick. I work on a boat and da 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 da, and I in a kayak and everything, man. And he ended up being fine. And I gave out
And
a
they're
pass.
only at Walmart, right? Only at
I don't
Walmart's
know.
where you
I
found them.
think I did the Walmart.com, or I think I no, it's Walmart delivery. Was it Walmart
Yeah.
delivery?
Yeah.
Maybe
Because
I showed you them,
we,
but I got the double pack. Maybe it was online. It might have been Amazon, dude.
yeah.
It might have been Amazon. I think you did because either way, I ordered the other day. I ordered $40 worth or something. It was a lot more of them. I got a bunch of them, but I'm ripping through them.
Dude,
I am ripping through it, but I'm saving people. I'm 5 for 5, 5 for 5
that's
people.
incredible, man. I mean, because there's so many other things out there, but none of them are
None of
really
them work,
proven to work,
and
And
I
so
know
to
that for
bring
my
a guy,
son.
yeah, to bring a guy back, yeah, like you were saying with, the last time we talked about it was LB, and you're like, it's the first time he's
Whole
ever
life.
tuna standing up.
Whole life, dude. Listen, guys. He's tried the bracelets, man. He's tried the Dramamine and the Drama Queen. All three kinds of varieties of Drama Queen don't work. The freshies, the sea, the motionies, that don't work.
Yep.
We've tried the electronic $220 bracelet. The shark, this guy that swore by that didn't work. Puked up everywhere, dude. Produced a Chick-fil-A sandwich out of his mouth like a factory. You know what I mean? It was just coming out like Willy Wonka, dude. It was just coming out like a gobstopper. So anyway, look, the bottom line is we even tried the magic amulet. Here, put this around your chest, it'll work. Dude, there's nothing working, dude. But this thing has kept him up and kept a lot of people up. So back to the cast. But dude, that was great. So we got some nice catch of sea bass, threw them on the dock, and it was a great day to be out there offshore. And it was sunny. That was the other thing. It was a very very rainy weekend for people on land. I don't know what it looked like on land, but
It
as
was
far
nasty.
dude,
A lot
it
of
was
lot of
great out
rain.
there. It was great out there. It was sunny. I mean, I always tell people this is a great philosophy. I'll drop on you guys too. There's always sun out there. You just got to go above the clouds to find it. Now, look, if you can go to where the clouds aren't, you'll find it, but just always sun shining. It's just right above the clouds, guys.
Yep.
So it's just always there. You just got to find it. All right. That's what I've always told my kids. So that's what we did. And here's the greatest report from Sunday, man. Oh, man. We had, with the pressure of trying to find some. And look, guys, when I'm out there, I put an extra hour and a half in trolling for these guys. I didn't mind. I knew I was going to pull the brakes and give them more time. But I'm out there for the fleet. You know what I mean? Not just me. I want the Virginia Beach fleet to do killer, man. And the way to do that is be the guy. Go out there, try. Be. I mean, not everybody's going to go these or trust the forecast, and they got to trust what they're used to. But to be out there and trying to find these fish so I can go to them, guys. Let's rip them up, or to get more boats out there to fan out, and we can find these things. It's all it's going to take. So that's what I believe, and that's why I keep loving to be out there and trying to get. And I even giving these reports, man, so that people just go fishing, and that's what it's all
Yep.
about. It's the same thing.
Yep. Go make the report instead of asking about it.
Be the report. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Be the report.
Be the report. I mean, just thinking about the last 10 days and all the fish that you've caught. I mean, it's been everything from, tautog to sea bass to golden tile. I think I saw some rose belly.
Yeah,
what are those called?
Black belly rosefish. Yeah, we got the
black belly
black belly
rosefish, which is
blue line
interesting.
tile.
Yeah, blue line tile, golden tile, and then now these mahi, which I want to get into a little bit more about. How in the world did you guys put together such a giant catch of mahi when it's only May the 24th or 25th? That's crazy for this time of year.
I am scratching my head, but I will tell you conspiracy theorists of my conspiracy theory with my foil hat. Supposedly a few days ago around the world, 20 of the altering weather stations were taken offline by a covert force. And now we don't have the weather manipulators. Do you notice we actually have weather in Virginia Beach again? We actually have rain in our town again. You remember for about 4 months we haven't. They've been drying deserts out and doing a lot of things everywhere. And I think they say we're gonna be back. So far I've seen a change. But
yeah,
I don't know how the heck we caught these mahi, man, way the heck out there. I don't know. I really don't. We shot it to the east yesterday. We didn't go straight south. We went just a little bit touch south and to the east, and we got on some real nice mahi. Now look, at first we were trolling a lot, and every time we seemed to troll, we were just putting them out, and we were moving by this. It was the weirdest thing. Like, it was grass, but when we hit the grass, usually it's here comes the grass line. Like, it was one of those out of nowheres. You just see it, and you're already in it, and you're going over it like the line. And the funny part was, and most times guys know that there's a ball of grass really bunched up. You'll find a pocket of fish,
Yeah.
But thin little lines, the odds of finding fish is. It's your shot in a crapshoot. You're eventually going to find them. But it seemed like every time we were like, oh, crap, here comes the grass, it was like, bang, bang. It was like, bang, pow, we get a pow. And these were screamers, man. They were pulling some drag. It was some 20-pound gaffers and, another 17-pound gaffer and I think a 15. But, I mean, we had probably 12 or 14 gaffers that we put, and we had 4 on at once a couple times. Trolling on the troll bites, guys. Everyone's asking about the troll bites. We found a few debris piles floating. And those worked out the best to slow down. Once we try to circle back and see what kind of class of fish was on it, and they'd bang. 'Cause, I mean, sometimes and even the first one we saw some rope, and the first one after, and what was weird about the rope? There was mahi on it, and they weren't eating anything, man. They just weren't, dude. But then but we were in a colder patch of water on the inside there, so we went out a little further, and as we got out further, we found that the water warmed up and the fish were reacting a lot better, man. It was great. But that was just at the very end. We got lucky and found I mean, god dang, it was like cardboard box stuffed to this like rope and wire and crap. It was like trash. And I was just like, are we gonna find, and I didn't want to find any body parts or any, but everyone's looking, there's gonna be a Coke bag in there or something. It was like a giant
square grouper.
Dude, it was square groupers because it was just bundled together of shit. And it was grown on it, so you really didn't know what you're looking at. But it was, just looking at it like it might have been an overthrown knapsack type of stuff. But and we didn't need to stay by it long because the fish stayed with us pretty well. We bailed up some really nice fish, man. They were like borderline gaffers and just swinging them in. You see them 3 across the dock. That's a spread there. That was just great. 41 fish. We had 5 people book on the walk on, and you know how much I hate when somebody doesn't book on a walk on. Guess what? Me and Russ got mahi, baby. We got 1/12, 1/6 because there's one person missing. We get 1/6, and him and I 1/12 each. which
Yep.
turned out to about it was about everyone split a gaffer, the 20-pound gaffer, 15,
Right.
18, 19. Everyone split a gaffer, got one in their bag, and then everybody got almost two bags of meat from about 7 or 8 fish each or something. So it was come out to about 7 each. And I had
Yeah.
my 3, and here's my part of my story. It's like as I put, I mean, guys, I really swear I try to be this. I accept a challenge in life sometimes. I'm like, all right, I got fresh mahi. I worked a 12-hour. I just worked a million hours in a row. Can I make
Right.
fresh mahi at the house and vacuum seal my stuff when I get home? I'm like, I can do anything.
Yes.
I get home at about because I had to get some gas for the boat a little later, and I got my gas and I only had time to sit there and wobble in the chair for a minute. And Rick and Morty, the new one, came on at 11 o'clock. It was already 11 o'clock. And I was like, oh, man, I got to watch this. So after that, we wobbled again and woke up. I was like, oh, no, I got to go to work. So I put my fish out front, told Todd the day before, Todd, you're going to get it. No, I'm just kidding. I told him the day before. I was like, hey, man, come in the morning to get the fish. And I was like, come get the fish in the morning for. And I told Elby, go get our fish in the morning. We're having tahimakos for dinner. Get ours. And I text, of course, the college kid you text who goes out and gets slammed, probably hammered. And he's a valet guy from 12 to 8. You cool valet, dude. LB. I love you, boy. Anyway, so he's a 12 to 8er. And by the time he sends me my text message back, it's I'm on the way in. I'm coming in from a 5 to 1. I'm blowing in, and he's like, it's 1:30. I stayed a little later to get the limit for him, help him out. And he tells me, oh, I'm already at work. No. And I was like, sweet. Awesome. Like I'm thinking nobody came to get the fish. It sat out front. You didn't get ours. No
No.
one checked the ice. So I hit up Todd. I'm like, hey man, then I figured then the wheels clicked. I was like, hey Todd. I hit him up like, yo, did you get your fish? He's like, yeah, man, thanks. And I was like, you grab the bag, you got the he's like, yeah, man, thanks. And I was like, you got my fish. He's like, oh no. And he lives in Carolina. And I was like, you already home? He's like, I'm home. And I was like, I'm doomed. I was like, all right.
No.
I was like, all right, vacuum seal me a pack, just one of nice ones. He's like, it did look kind of heavy, man. He was kind of sweet. I was like, dang, this is I don't know what here. So he got a whole oh man, he got all my mahi. But so that's
Uh,
where. So guess who's not having fresh mahi tacos, but Makos, but just pull some out of the freezer, baby. I just got some on
yeah.
tap. I got to
Oh
hit the
yeah.
tap. Plus, the way they were on that grass and the way they were hitting, the way they're biting. I hope they're going to stay
They'll
around. They should be
yeah,
around
hang
for a little
around.
while for us. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they were not that far. Then they were further. And then it was just a lot of, and that it was right in the break. And guys, while we were trolling because we had to get him back out. It was a lot of blood and a lot of reeling, and I mean it was nonstop action pretty much. I promise that it was crazy. But
Yeah.
while we were doing all that, there was birds and it was swoopers. I mean, it looked tuna fishy.
Yeah.
It looked like it's gonna turn on, guys. So we'll let you know. We got a Thursday, Friday. We're gonna pull one out there and look for some stuff. But I won't be able to. I think my Friday wants to deep drop, so I'm stuck on the bottom. But I'll see what I can see
Well,
and tell you what I see. I mean,
there's
I
worse
saw some splashes.
places. There's worse
Yeah,
places you could be.
I could be in the worst place, but hey, that'll be the 10th. That'll be 10 and 9 in 9 days. Give a break.
The days of heading out and blindly looking for good fishing areas are pretty much over. Don't waste time and money on fuel searching for fish. What you need are the most recent, highest resolution images to not only know where to go, but where not to go. The knowledge provided by today's technology is critical when planning an offshore fishing trip. So make the choice that captains all up and down the East Coast make and choose Hilton's Real Time Navigator. The easy to use interface and excellent customer service will have you on the fish every time you go. Check them out at hiltonsoffshore.com. I'm curious when you see the grass lines, I don't have really any trolling experience when it comes to mahi. But if I were to be headed east and looking for warm water and I start to see warm water, what are the signs in terms of like temperature and like water color that you start to actually slow down and maybe put out to troll for mahi?
Guys, I mean, a lot of times you want to fish in warm water. When you're a beginner, you're looking for the warmest water. Like, there got to be in there. And you're thinking Florida gold and this blue and it's purple. It's pretty out there. And there's stuff. It could be bigger blue marlins and it could be some stuff out there for you. But I've learned over time that the best spot to be is right where that temperature's about to break and start working your way in there and stay in there for a little bit and look for the life.
Yeah.
Look for the animals and stuff like that, or some signs or some marks on your screen or something that tells you something. Or even, you know what? Use your gut. If it's telling you to stop there and you out of nowhere I should stop here, you're gonna kick yourself later. Maybe you didn't, but it's not a bad idea to stop right where that break and that mix is. Now, when it comes to the grass lines, a good tip, since you did bring it up, is guys, when you do see the grass line, say you're coming up to it, it's like the letter capital T, and you're coming at
Hmm.
this grass line, you just do not want to cross that thing. You want to look for a spot on it somewhere, like zigzag, like away from it a little bit, and find a spot to cross it if you're intending to cross it, and try to find the thinnest spot so your mate's not totally shagged up. We call it getting shagged.
Yeah.
And then look, another thing is you want to another thing is you want to make a wide circle. You want to get up well, when you see it, you want to turn right, for example, and make a wide right and kind of go around and then kind of get parallel to it and get as close as you can with your baits. Maybe you don't have to. You don't have to. You can keep them 20 feet off there because the water is so blue they can see so far, and anything is living on that grass line or even hunting on the grass line. We've caught wahoos on grass lines. We've caught a lot of mahi on grass lines. Now, if you get covered up on a grass line with mahi, like we did, you just pulled her brakes, slow her down. I mean, we got, obviously I see here comes a rope, dude. It's got a bunch of scrap on it. We're in there. Get ready, boys. I'm already screaming at everybody on the boat, dude. I'm getting the energy moving to get these guys moving. They're tired. They've been wobbling all day, but you pump their adrenaline with some battle cries. They're ready to go, man.
Yeah, they get fired up quick.
I'm William Wallace, dude, ready to lead these guys into battle, man. Like I get pumped up there on the top of
Yeah.
that horse. On top of that horse, man. You're out there like, let's go. I'm like riding back and forth like with my blue and orange paint. Like, see you guys ready. Sure enough, pow, 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 pow. We got 4 on, and it just goes off. It's good stuff. Big fish.
And
I'm not surprised to see him this big this early, though. I gotta admit that.
I was shocked when I saw your story and saw how big and saw, Russ out there with the gaff. I was like, holy smokes, these aren't peanuts. These are real dolphin that you want to take home and eat. What were you guys catching them with? Like, what was the actual bait on the end?
Ballyhoo,
Okay.
but look, man, like I said, we were putting 3, 4 out because the grass was bad. By the way, we didn't even drop our outriggers yesterday. We didn't have time. We put 4 out the back, and like it was just ballyhoos at first, and they were just smacking the ballyhoo. And by the time we were putting them back out and finding more grass and stuff, it was like bang to bang. And we literally, I got Russ to run some baitless. I got him to run some sterling stingers. So I got
Hmm.
him to throw the stingers out, guys. And that one video you saw we posted, we got a sterling stinger there, and that thing, it's got a more of like a green machine, guys. It's like a purple green machine is all, but it's got a
Okay.
lot of sparkles on that thing. It's really good, man. Those things work great behind the tracker bars, great behind the spreader bar, and they're great in the grass because they hang up less than your ballyhoo rig will. So
Yeah.
that's just one of
Yeah.
those things to go with if you can remember that stinger's really good, man. There's a diamond stinger and a regular stinger, but I like the purple and the pink myself. Those work pretty good. But don't use them in the tournament, all right, guys? Because you know what I mean?
Anything but the tournament.
Yeah, use
Leave.
something else, man. All right, guys. I'm just kidding.
You
I'm
were
just
were you
messing.
set up were you set up to tuna fish and then got surprised by the mahi? Or did you plan on the mahi when you actually put your baits out?
We literally started to put I literally pulled up where I saw. I was like, "Oh my god, guys, there's some grass here. I'm gonna turn down it." And I did that move I told you. Except I went to the south, and
Hmm.
I went and started going south. And sure enough, it condensed where it started to get bigger, and
Yeah.
there it was. You know what I mean? And look, we get storms. This stuff might break back up, but it'll pile back up when it gets organized again. When you get a good same breeze for a little bit of time, it organizes really well. But when you
Yeah,
get a
like all the
changing,
currents kind of
yeah,
push all that stuff up against like
yeah.
up against the current line, and the debris and everything kind of like naturally finds a sort of center point.
It's wind too, because that wind does it and blows it across like wind and waves. And I've seen that when the wind and waves change too fast, it'll break a grass line up.
Mm,
So it'll change directions. Basically, not just that's what I mean by change. Change directions, not just speed.
got it.
It's that direction will do it. It'll open that line up. But anyway, so yeah, we had some nice, a couple it wasn't mats, but just so to speak, but green rope, the Paula junk, and what was the other thing? It was like this yellow like bucket lid or something. It was this yellow square of crap. with
And they
it
just
was
were
in
on
it,
it.
but and it all stays with the trash stays with the grass line, which is all wind driven and current,
Right,
of course.
right.
But you'll see those. So yeah, that's so we didn't like I said we didn't have time, but we did eventually. When we stopped catching. We were like, all right, we got on the run, we got on the troll, and we got he started to get a whole lot of stuff out, and we started to shag. You put too much stuff out, you're starting to shag. You start to get,
Hmm.
you're not really efficient then because you're bringing a lot, you're bringing lines in all the time instead of really concentrating on your baits and where you're fishing.
Right. Right.
So, and then we kind of skeleton down, but we started catching again. It was just sick. We had like a lull, like a lull when I pretty much drove away because it was a rain here and I wanted to go there and I was like, I can't go there because of the rain. I'm gonna wait for it to pass. I made a move
Yeah.
around. We made one circle, had birds in our spread, freaking out. Got a couple more shags. I made it back to where the grass. There's a couple different lines out there, and it worked out. It worked out amazing. It worked out killer. I was really stoked. After all that, fishing will bring you that energy. Will just get you pumped. You know what I mean? It gets
Oh
you back
yeah,
in the game.
40. I mean, 41 Mahi,
Yeah,
especially when we weren't expecting it, is like one of the best grocery runs ever. That you went to the store thinking you were going to buy a thing of chicken breast, and you come find out that filet mignons will sell for $1 a pound. I mean, that's just exciting.
dude, we blew
Um,
it. We blew in at 30 miles an hour. You know what I mean? At the time, if you average it out, it was three, but each way around 2.5 or somewhere in there. But we blew in it like we blew in yesterday real fast. So it was very tricky with the windmills and the fog. You had to trust your tech. You had to trust your gear, trust your chart, trust your sonar. I mean your radar, because it was
yeah.
pea soup. It was terrible. You couldn't see them till they're right on you. It was
Oh no,
bad.
I had friends that were trying to, their family was flying in. They couldn't land at Norfolk because the fog was so thick, and I mean, it was some interesting weather. But I'm curious on the Mahi, when you're trolling for Mahi, unlike tuna. I think tuna, if I remember correctly, it's like you want to be at like 7 to 7.5 knots. Is that correct, roughly?
Yeah, I like 7-1 is my number. You know what else
Seven
is
one.
really good is when you see the fish and we start getting a few bites. I was getting Russ to run over there and yoke the lines. And he's yoking the lines. And when you yoke the lines, it looks like all the baits are swimming. So the fish look at that underwater like, all right, they're swimming. Then all of a sudden, one of them freaks out. And you see that one. That's the one they attack. Because they know he's bursting his energy. And
Uh
once they
huh.
use their energy, they're going to be out of energy soon. So,
Got it. Got it. So you kind of create that like that wounded or scared bait look by
or hey,
ripping
look,
the line.
or that flash, or that bubble, or just, hey, look at me. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah, yeah. Catch their attention, almost like a laser pointer with a cat. Boom.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's exactly because they want to chase something. If it's sitting there, they might not, but if they want to, they can chase it. It's cool. Chum
Yeah,
is at the end of the day, the chum was a little different throwing the squid. If you want that to float and die, the key is to open your bail and let it sink. Don't guys, you want to catch more fish? Open that bail, man. Just keep feeding it
let it
out.
just keep going. Yeah,
Someone's gonna thank me soon for that when they hear that. That's the major thing. You'll spook them. They'll
just
know
let it.
they can see the hook. They can see your hook. It's if they're
Oh,
dumb
so
enough to
just
eat it.
leave the bail open and let it keep on drifting, like
Yeah,
so that it
and
looks
and then
completely lifeless.
yeah, and the key is don't hook them, man. Just close the bail, slowly raise, let them jump out of the water and go crazy. Don't even bother hooking them.
Mm,
Right when you hook them, you're losing them. That's it. I watched a guy three in
got
a
it.
row. I was like, don't hook
Got
him,
it.
don't hook him, don't hook him. And then three in a row, and he laughed. And then at the end of the day, he's like, dude, so much thanks for showing me that. That was cool. He was stoked,
And is
man.
it is it is it circle hooks or J hooks for Mahi like this?
I mean, if you're gonna slow down guys, I'd use the circles. I would. I'd get the eagle claws. I'd
Yeah.
get in there on them. Yep, I'd use those. That's what I'd use,
And then
guys.
speed wise, if tuna is like 771, what do you like to troll for speed wise when you find that you're near a grass line?
Dude, Mahi are crazy. Mahi are nuts. I mean, you only slow down. Look, if you get a bite or two, you kind of want to slow down, slow the baits down so they stay and get a few more. But I keep moving. I get one or two or three on, and then I kind of ease her back when I'm like, all right, I got enough on. Where we blow one of these 4 or 5,
Yeah.
I'm getting some fish in
Yeah.
the boat, and
Yeah.
these guys are gonna be happy. They're gonna be stoked to have. They're off. Dude, their adrenaline yesterday was insane. Everybody's having a
So
great time, man. And oh, I took a hey, yesterday. There was a guy. He threw up. I gave him the patches. Fished the rest of the day.
good to go.
Takes about 15 minutes for them to kick in at the worst end of it, but it happens. I literally watch them go for pale, and I watch their color go right back in their face like they got a suntan.
So interesting. And they're all natural too. I'm looking at the ingredients. They're like
Yes,
it's ginger, peppermint, and then something called borneal or something like that. And it's some sort of
that's it.
an active ingredient in there. But I mean, gosh, that is so encouraging to hear that there's a solution that's actually
Well,
working for people because
I'll give you the Oksana story. Oksana comes on the boat, throws up, fish is hard as hell. Throws up, fish is hard. Keeps, and while she's fishing, just letting it rip. And then she's like, anything. I said, listen, I was like, they got this or that. And the next thing, she tried a bunch of these things. I was like, they have a prescription patch you can get. She came back on the boat, was like, guess what? Got the prescription patches. And she, sure enough, fishes hard all the way. Doesn't even throw up with the prescription. So this is one step below prescription, and it's
Mhm.
over the counter. So you're in there. So it's like, and it's
Yeah,
$20, and you got 20 patches. I got 40 of them for $38 or something. I don't know. It's like $1 each.
yeah, they're not expensive. I think
For
especially
charter
compared
cost,
to a
that ain't nothing.
prescription.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're
Somebody's
already,
happy on a charter. Don't get me wrong. You can want somebody is a jerk. You want them in a beanbag, just don't give them one. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm still laughing at the way you refer to the beanbag like a world champion boxer.
It
It's
is
like,
we call it the heavyweight champ. It knocks everybody out. Hey guys, just so you know, too, captains, I want to give you a little captain tip. Hey, look, people are gonna when they get seasick. There's a couple different people. They're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm seasick. I'm worried. Oh shit, I'm scared."
yeah,
There's the
yeah,
people who are seasick that handle it. I'm tough as hell. I'm tough as hell. Cool, I got it, guys. I'll take it. That's my favorite. Then you got the guys. Then you got people that act the tough like they're tough. They're seasick. They're acting like they're not seasick, and they're giving you dirty looks the whole time because they're seasick.
right,
Like you put the waves there.
yeah,
Like I built the waves. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And it's just like, bruh, like, and then what you do is now you give them the ear patches and they're right back in the game. But just remember that, guys. And we don't have that all the time. We rarely have that. But there's different levels of just different. You'll see the variations of people that get different sicknesses to how they act and how they respond. Some people
yeah.
get mad. Some people get grumpy. They just get grumpy, man, irritable, and they get pretty bold.
Yeah, I I get quiet because I'm just like in my head trying to like get out of the feeling or try to like take my mind somewhere else. But it's definitely to me a combination of there's some sort of physiological difference in people that get seasick versus those who don't. But then on top of that, I think there's like a sort of anxiety level where you start to get stiff, and that's the biggest thing for me that I've realized is like you have to fight through the urge to get stiff. Don't post up against a lean seat or an
Yeah,
aluminum
well,
pole or
that's
whatever.
exactly what we tell people. You're pole dancing. Then, if you hold the rail, you're literally going with the sway of the boat. Use your legs, bend your knees, stand in the
Yep.
middle of the boat, and just go stay in the middle. And if you learn your legs and use your seat, balance, you'll stay in the middle. Your head won't swing anymore. And actually, it's your semicircular canal next to your cochlea in your ear, in the back of there, in your inner ear, that actually controls that. It's got that semicircular canal fluid that goes back and
Yeah.
forth. And that's if
Yep.
that stops rocking, you stop rocking. So.
Yep. That makes perfect sense. I feel like I had to like slow down and think about the words that you were saying just now because it was a whole
Oh,
bunch of
sorry,
real
guys.
fancy big
Sorry,
words.
fellas. Hey, in like the third grade or fourth grade, I had to do a report on the ear, and dude, I'm sorry. I made a huge diorama, and I just I memorized stuff I do for some reason. I've
No,
now,
it's great. It's
I'm,
great. I
uh,
think
I'm
that
a, I've
I just
memorized every airplane motor that's ever come out for the last 50 years, and besides the last 10 years, there's too many stuff going on I can't keep up with it besides the jet pulse. Anyway, but yeah, I got some weird stats I keep.
well, speaking of stats, again, I just want to say thank you so much for being such an incredible addition to the show in terms of like the number of times that you've been on and contributed to the type of learning that you provide. Like you give out so many great tips that people can really actually take and put into use on their next charter or in their kitchen, whether that's coconut sea bass, tahi macos.
Oh, I love those
Um,
recipes. I gotta get it. I heard a cookbook's coming
oh,
out eventually. No, I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
2020.
2020. Nah, if I
2020.
didn't have surgery this year, guys, I promise it was going down. I had
Yeah.
surgery and I had 4 cats plop out on me, so they're
You've
here.
had your hands full, man. That's for sure. You've had new motors
I
hung on
love
the
life.
boat. You've had new cats, surgery, but man, I'm just so grateful that you're healthy, that the
Yeah,
boat's
I'm good.
running great, and you guys are ready to rock for the season ahead. So it's basically the end of May and almost June. So what's ahead for playing hooky as we go into June, July? If folks are listening and thinking about planning their trips or planning their vacations and they want to charter, what kind of species are we expecting to go after over the next month or two? And how do folks reach out to book a trip?
Well, Luke, thanks for having me on this thing. I love doing this thing with you. The next few weeks, guys, we're looking at a couple different things, which is the inshore. They're going to be some gentlemen on other boats that'll be available for some Cobia trips inside. Inside the bay will heat up for them. Out of the ocean front for us, the Cobia will be coming through till June 15th. We can't keep them, but it'll provide
Yeah.
a lot of action. There'll be a lot of bay boats and other boats with us out there enjoying the days and having some Cobia wars. And no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Everybody's cool. And we're gonna go ahead and there's some drum on the beach. We're gonna look for it, but playing hooky is gonna be ready for some offshore action. We're gonna be ready for some offshore stuff, and hopefully we're gonna be looking for the tunas, getting on those. Still deep dropping to keep people happy, and get some meat in the boat. Seabass is gonna be good for a couple more weeks till it tapers off as this thing gets a little hotter out here.
Hmm.
And I wanted to tell you, I'm glad you asked, is that we have this tournament I helped put together with a buddy of mine. I think I've told you a little bit about it. It's called
Yeah.
the Tech Tackle Classic. We just instead of these Cisco and all these tech guys put taking a huge golf course up for a whole day and putting all their money into a golf course. They wanted to do a tournament. They started talking about one boat.
Oh, cool.
How many boats could I get? And could I get 10? I was like, yeah, I can get 10 boats. And so what I did was I networked out to the top boats in the area. You got High Hopes, you got Zach Castro on Not Tugging. I wanted Greg, but he couldn't go. But I basically got Brian Leonard. I got a good fleet of boats. 10 of
Yeah.
us. We're gonna go out there and we're gonna go on one day. We have 2 different days to try it. If we don't get the weather, we'll move it to the 19th. But on the 5th, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna go for tuna. We're gonna go for tuna, the biggest stringer. And the way the prize breakdown is going to be is the charters are going to get some prize money for the charter captain and the mate, like a regular percent of breakdown,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other crew is going to get a whole bunch of money for the crew that wins. There's going to be 6 packs, a lot of 6 packs, so they have a safe crew to compete with, and we
Mm-hmm.
have a pretty level playing field. We're going to go from 7. We're going to go to Dock Tails for the captain's meeting and stuff. Shout out to Dock Tails. We're going to go to Fisherman's Wharf and do the presentation of the winnings and stuff like that. But the coolest part of the tournament is that these guys are going to do that, and they're also at the same time raising money for charity. Now, look, guys, I'm you know how I am. I'm really organic. I do not want to give that money to some charity that's just going to swallow it up and put a fender on something with a bumper sticker somewhere in Utah. We're not doing
Right.
it. We're not just going to donate like that. I want to see firsthand this money go to the right place. So, what did I come up with? We're going to take the $6,000 and we're going to find as many boats as we can get for that money, which is going to be probably, we'll divide it by as 10 boats is $600. That'll be 4-hour trips, and we're going to take 6 kids times 10. We're going to take 60 children from CHKD on free trips and take them all for a
Dude.
fishing trip, so we can put the next generation into fishing, and it'll kick right on back to us. Not to us, but it'll kick right on back to the learning foundation of fishing, and they'll come to be able to come fishing, man. You know what I mean?
Heck yeah. Oh, dude,
That's
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 so
all.
cool. That warms my heart, man.
Yeah,
That's the gift that keeps on giving, because not only are these kids, if they're at CHKD right now, they're probably dealing with some sort of really difficult, health issue, treatment, whatever. And CHKD is an amazing organization. I've met some folks from there, and but man, you're gonna create these memories that can last a lifetime, or even potentially get them, get their beaks wet with fishing, and then boom, now they got this new passion and thing that they love to do.
they love it, man. And the best thing about fishing is not the money, guys. It's not making charters. Come on, let's go. It's actually about getting the furthest away from people to get your own food. Think about it.
Exactly.
Go get your own food that
Yeah.
nobody's touched.
Yeah.
Think about it. It's the clean. I don't even know if I'm eating steak sometimes. I'm like, is this? I got to check the pack to see if it's
Right.
been puffed up in a lab, bro. I'm scared. I like
No,
steak.
you're right.
I want to, and I know that I eat my own food. I eat my own food and catch my own catch. So that's a great feeling. That's what people need to do. And then look, these kids will see some dolphins, some turtles, and the beach, and I mean, I can't even tell you it'll take their mind off it. I'm pretty sure it'll take a lot of their mind off what they've been going through.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh
that's
yeah.
that's a direct, and it took me a while. It took me like a month and a half to figure out the best way to do the charity that I wanted to do. And this guy named Juan, he's great. He's the other guy. He's putting it all together on his end. I like, it's like A team. He's face, and I'm like B.A. Baracus getting the charter boats. It's like, all right, fellas, or Hannibal. I'm
Yeah.
Hannibal. I'm like, all right, guys, here's what we're gonna do. Let's go. I'm like, all right, face, go talk, go get it all going. So and it's gonna be a good thing, man. It's gonna be
That's
pretty
awesome,
fun.
dude.
Yep.
Well, it's shaping up to be a good season. You guys have been fishing your brains out. I love that those new motors are doing so well for you. So, if folks want to get booked on playing hooky, how do they contact you and book a trip?
Guys, we still have dates open. I'm one of those that I don't like putting up. We have wide open dates, but because then I can't have any off. No, I'm just messing around. But no, we do have some dates open. Check our calendar at playinghooky.com. Playing Hooky, I think it's playinghookycharters.com. And
Mm-hmm.
we also have the playinghookycharters.com walk-ons /
Yep.
walk-ons. And those are great for singles and individuals. And you should be able to call me at 757-619-3530. If I don't get back to you, I'll get back to you by the end of the day most times, unless it's too late. I'll give you some time in the morning. But guys, let's get out there. Let's have a great summer. Let's go catch some tunas. Hey, we did the Hunters podcast. Let's go.
Boom.
And you guys stay tuned, man. We got a lot more great stuff coming for you guys. Really, we do. I'm playing hooky. We're looking at it still, man. We still just getting warmed up, man. We still got a lot more to go.
Yeah,
Stay
you
with
get me
us.
fired up, man. I'm slacking on fishing, so talking to you, I'm like, I got to get out there. I got to go.
Go, man.
But
You'll be the
man,
report.
I'm fired up. Thank you again for being on this 100th show. We made it. Let's keep it. Let's do 200 of them.
That's right. That's right. We're gonna get the guys to write in and make some comments. They want to see the visuals. So get us in the studio, guys. Get us on. Let's go worldwide. Let's go worldwide. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
we got to do one of those with video soon. And get you and a couple others in the studio and really just like go deep on
Chop
something.
it up, man.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be really fun.
We'll all throw the mates under the bus, man. No, I'm just kidding.
The mates are definitely the unsung heroes. I know we've talked about it 100 times, but they're definitely the unsung
Yeah,
heroes.
shout out to Russ, bro. Love you, man.
You're the man, Russ.
Hey, if you guys watch another last thing, if you guys watch Cox Cable and you push pause ever on Cox Cable and you see the pier picture at Sandbridge, it's Russ. It's like the fifth screensaver when you pause. It's like Russ at the pier.
Oh,
Russ at the pier.
they got that stock image, and it's actually an
It's a
image of Russ on the pier.
It's a sunrise at Russ at the pier, like a beautiful sunrise, and he's wearing a plain hooky shirt, looking out at the. He took the morning off that morning and let a buddy. I think maybe LB was working, and we went down the beach past the pier. He was literally looking at us in the picture. So it was like
That's awesome.
So it's pretty cool, man. Yeah, shout out to Russ, bud.
That's very cool. Well, as we wrap up, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart to everybody that's listening to this show or has listened, thank you so much for being a listener. It's listeners like you and sponsors that we have that help to pay and make the production, make the equipment, the marketing, all that stuff possible. I'm excited for what's to come, but seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, because it wouldn't be possible without you guys. So on that note, let's stick around for a quick word from some of those sponsors that continue to make this content free for you each and every week. And we'll look forward to be back with you next week. Tight lines, y'all. Be safe out there.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Black Buffalo products are intended for adults age 21 and older who are consumers of nicotine or tobacco.
If you're 21 or older and use nicotine or tobacco, it's time you charge ahead to Black Buffalo, America's only credible smokeless tobacco alternative. Black Buffalo dips just like the real thing, but without the tobacco leaf or stem. Get it now at Wawa, Circle K, Sheetz, Love's, Pilot, Racetrack, and many more that you can see on their store locator at blackbuffalo.com. Black Buffalo Tobacco Alternative is everything you love about dip, nothing you don't. All right, y'all, that's going to wrap it up this week. Please subscribe, rate, and review wherever you listen to podcasts. And remember, to get your free APCO Camo Sunglasses Cleaner Cloth, text the acronym LCBFR to 779-345-2918 to get your promo code and be added to our email list so we can send you the new show each week. You guys keep on whacking them and be safe out there.